Hi everyone. In this video, I want to share with you about color pencils and how to blend. Now there's some techniques that I have down here. There may be more, but these are the ones that I know. So one method is by using two different colors. All right. So I have here a red and I am using Prismacolor. And if you notice, I am not pressing hard, but just going one direction. And I'm using a Carmine. It's called Carmine Crimson Lake. I'm sorry. And I'm using an orange here. And I'm lightly going over. Now, when you use color pencils, if you want to get a nice uniform color, it's a good idea to make multiple layers. Okay, so that's like one layer of the orange. I have one layer of the red, and I'm going to go over, and my strokes were left and right for both the orange and the red, but this time I'm going to do a diagonal stroke with my pencil and pressing the same amount of pressure. I'm not going harder. The white area that you see that's not being covered is still from the paper, because the paper has dips and valleys. If we were to enlarge that paper, it's not completely flat. I'm going to go on a diagonal with this one as well. Same amount of pressure. All right. And notice I'm going over that red with the orange. Layer by layer. This is really important because you get a gradual blend. Okay. And I'm going to do the same with the red. It's always a good idea to change your direction of the stroke, because then I'm able to cover a little bit more of that, those hills and valleys of that paper. If we were to enlarge that paper, kind of looks like this. You got these hills and valleys, and then the color would sit on top. Okay. And because I am adding layer after layer on top of here, I don't have to press hard. And yes, this video is going to take a little time because I'm not going to rush through it. But you are welcome to speed through the video if you need to. See how I'm just gently going over that same amount of pressure, not too hard, not too light, but I'm getting a nice coverage here. Now, you could say, well, I'm done blending here, and you can leave it like this. Or what you can do is you can actually use another color similar. So this one is peach. I was using orange and Crimson Lake, which is a red, but I want to blend it a little bit more, so I'm going to use this peach. It's a similar color, and I'm going to do little circles, and you'll see that it's going to blend a little bit more. Okay, so you have more of a gradient, you might say. Okay, now another way that you can color and blend color pencils is by using a white pencil. So I'm going to put down my red. And I'm using really the side of the pencil lead. I'm not using the pointed area and going back and forth. Just happens to be a favorite method of mine using. And again, same pressure. I'm not pressing harder. I'm going over that middle portion here. Again, putting another layer of this orange on. Going over that middle part. Putting another layer on of the orange. Different diagonal stroke now. So I got about 2 layers on right now. And now I'm going to actually use a white pencil. So this is my white color pencil, and I'm going to press down. You're going to see the colors start to blend a little bit more in the middle. Now, when you use this technique, 2 things are happening. It is somewhat lightening up the red, just a hair, just slightly. But what it's also doing is smearing that color. So there is some of that pink on my white lead there. Can you see that? And what it does is it transfers that red over. And you can see a little bit of that white is getting orange. So let me do it again. I'm going to make this a little bit, pressing a little bit more so I get some more coverage here. And you can go back and forth using the white pencil in between layers of your yellow and your red. And yes, I'm coloring outside the lines. I'm looking through the phone. All right, now I'm going to do diagonal with this one. Now I'm going to use the whites. Let's see if you can see this blend. See how it's smearing that orange in between the white areas? It seems to blend it in more. Especially if you have multiple layers. This technique works very well. It seems to fill in those areas of white paper that's showing through. And I am pressing kind of hard because I want this to blend. So that is one way of blending your color pencils. And I'm actually going over here with a little bit of orange here, trying to get rid of this demarcation line, kind of blend it in a little bit more. And you can go back and forth with the red and the orange. and the white. The upshot is that you do end up using up your white. See how it just blended in? It pushed that color in. All right, so that's another way that you can blend the color pencils. Now, another way that you can do this is by burnishing. It's very similar to this, but we're not using another color, and we are only using the two colors that we're using. So in this case, we're using this red. And you could go about this two different ways if your pencil just broke. My lead just broke. Oh my goodness. You could either press down really hard at first, or you can go layer upon layer upon layer and gradually build up until you're burnishing. And remember I said that the paper, if you were to enlarge it and look at it on its side, you see the different hills and valleys like this. When you burnish, you press down so hard that you flatten all these hills and valleys, and your color, it ends up becoming very, like, you have a sheen. Even if you're using graphite pencil and you press down really hard, you're going to see that as well. Okay, so I am actually using the same amount of pressure, but just going a little bit more. Hopefully my pencil will still hold up. Please hold up. Otherwise I have to put the phone down and sharpen my pencil. I'm holding the lead down. And now I'm really pressing down. So I really want to get all the little white, whoops, I went over on the other side. I want to get all those little nooks and crannies covered. And the only way to really do that through burnishing is you press down hard. Okay? And you're just going to start to see a sheen. And less of the white paper is going to show through. I don't know if you can see a little bit of that sheen. Because I am flattening out, I flattened out this paper. And the more I press down hard, it blends these two colors, or whatever two colors that you're using. Okay. Now, hopefully this pencil, if I could still save it. Nah, I can't. All right, but I am still determined. Haha. If I turn it over, maybe I can do it this way. Yeah. I am still determined. All right. Yes, I know I could stop the video and go sharpen my pencil, but I'm too stubborn. It just keeps slipping from my fingers, this piece of lead. But you can probably see that sheen right there. Okay. So I press really hard. You try not to break your lead. And you can get this to blend it. Okay, so that's called burnishing. All right. Now, another way to do this is by using mineral spirits. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change over to a different red because I broke the lead. And I'm going to do the same thing in layers here. And if you notice, I'm going lighter when I get to the center because I'm going to be blending that with an orange. And the color that's towards this edge of the paper can be darker. But I want to be able to blend this orange into the center so I can create this. Now, when you do this with mineral spirits, it's very important that you add enough layers. If I use mineral spirits on this one, it will blend beautifully, even with this one. But if I don't have enough layers, so this is one layer, I'm going to go over again with the red, the second layer. What will happen is you'll just try it out. You'll see it's not going to blend in the way you want it to. Don't tell me I broke this one too. No, I did. Hey, life happens. I think what it is I'm going up against the edge and it's acting like a knife and slicing through the lead here. All right, so I'm going to apply a little bit more pressure here so I get another thicker coat of color on here. So we got here what? It's like our second layer. Maybe it's not broken. It's my third layer. And you can, if you take your time, if you start with light layers, you could put like 5, 10 different light layers, and you can get it as dark as this. You just go over and over and over. But I know people are you know, they don't want to wait. They don't want to take their time. But some things in life are not done right away. I did break that lead. Oh, man. It's okay. I think I can finish this, even with the broken lead. It'll still work. I know it will work. It has to. Okay. So now this looks very similar to this, except for this is lighter and I don't have as many layers. I have like, what, 2 layers on here? And this one I have at least 3. It should work because now this lead is broken. All right, so what I'm going to use is odorless mineral spirits, and you need a Q-tip. I'm trying to open this with one hand without spilling the bottle. Yay! Okay, Q-tip. Now, it's real important that you tap this on some paper towel. You don't want a big glob of mineral spirits on your paper because it's just going to soak through. And I'm going to flip over the Q-tip. And what's happening is it's dissolving the wax in the pencil. Color pencils are either wax or oil based. I think the polychromals are oil based, and it does work with them as well. I'm just rotating that Q-tip. Okay. And you see how nice it blended? Blended really nice. I flipped over the Q-tip and I'm just blending this way just to get rid of that streakiness. Okay. So you can see you get this beautiful smoothness. Now I can go in there with my orange. I'd go in with my red, but I don't have a red anymore because I broke the leads. And you get a beautiful smooth sheen blend. Okay, so we've got color where you just use the same. You can use two different colors, and then I ended up using a peach, which is a similar color to the red and the orange. And this one, I did the same thing, but I used a white pencil. This one is burnishing, where you press really hard, and you're not adding an additional color. Although, if you want to, yes, absolutely, I could go in here with this light peachy color and add it, though I don't know if it's going to really show up that much because it's such a light color and I pressed hard on these colors. And this is using the mineral spirits. So you can use any of these techniques to create some blending with your color pencil. Just remember that if you are going to use a mineral spirits, add more than, I would add more than 2 layers, just so that it will, because what it does is it dissolves the wax, and then it has to have enough pigment to blend. Okay, so be creative, have fun.